Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about Trump's separate effort to get the Department of Justice not to release the Smith report. Now, I've just explained in a different tape what's going on down in the courtroom, the very, very friendly, warm climate to Trump of Judge Eileen Cannon, who has entered an injunction blocking the release of the report. That's now sort of both with her and the 11th Circuit, but the 11th Circuit is the court to watch, and they may be able to dissolve that injunction. Meanwhile, that's for the Mar-a-Lago case of the purloined documents. What about the other half of Smith's report, or literally the other volume? That is the case involving the January 6th insurrection and the various charges against Trump there. Smith, we know from filings actually down in Florida, is just about finished with a 2-volume report, and presumably one of those volumes, and they sort of anticipated where Trump was going. One of those volumes is about the Mar-a-Lago case. That's the volume that the Nauta and De Oliveira, the remaining defendants in the Mar-a-Lago case, can say, keep under wraps, don't release, because you, Cannon, have said Smith doesn't have power to act. But that motion really shouldn't prevent the release of Volume 1 involving the January 6th case, the Chutkan report. Where can Trump go to try to get that released? He doesn't have a court. He could try, but his first move has to be to the DOJ. So he has delivered a letter yesterday to Garland saying you can't release the report as to the January 6th case. Why not? Well, there you go. He really has nothing to say, and it seems to me that a lot of this is just for PR value. What does he say? First, to release it would ignore the complete exoneration of Donald Trump by the election. So this is a theme we've heard before, and it's a really pernicious one. His attempts to basically say, because he won the presidency in some completely lawless, unspecified fashion, the people have now cleared him of all charges. They are wiped from the books of history. It's very much not true, and it's kind of essential, I think, to the ongoing struggle against authoritarian rule and what's going to be his assault on the democratic process, that be fought really hard. I mean, it's a classic sort of 1984 move just to control the narrative and control history, literally erase the pages of history of all the evidence that Smith and the government has been able to put together, but now won't be able to present to a jury because of Trump's win. So first, it ignores the exoneration. Second, it would just be a lawless political stunt. That's, again, obviously wrong. The regulations say to Merrick Garland and the DOJ, a special counsel is going to needs to prepare a report explaining the counsel's declination and decisions about what charges to bring, present to the Attorney General, who decides whether to make it public. It's a page out of Trump's tactics to say this is a publicity stunt. It's following the dictates of law. Of course, it'll be of intense public interest. But publicity stunt implies that it's not legitimate otherwise, or it's just done for publicity. That's not true and doesn't, remotely resemble the way Merrick Garland would make the decision and run the department. And other than that, there's just a lot of flailing. Lawless political stunt, he's been exonerated, etc. Now, he can't, I think, hope that Garland would actually be influenced at all by these completely meritless claims. He's been exonerated. No, he hasn't. it's a lawless political stunt. No, it isn't. It's set up, however, so that when it's released, which I think it is the better way to think about it, I think Garland will release it. He can then call it, or maybe have people even prepared to receive it as a political stunt, and possibly he will try in some fashion, even though I think he's got no real basis, to run to a court, and he'll show then, we've said it's just a lawless political stunt, and therefore shut it down. That's not even a legal claim, and he's fighting uphill against the operation of the regs and the law. So he's got a very different posture now with the January 6th case, and Smith is going to be delivering both volumes to Garland very soon. The DOJ, probably even this afternoon, the DOJ has said, in response to the litigation to stay release of the report down in Judge Cannon's courtroom, we have no intention of doing it before Friday in any event. So that gives a little time for these final legal skirmishes. But whatever mischief Cannon is able to do with the Volume 2, the Mar-a-Lago document case, really shouldn't extend at all to Volume 1, which has nothing to do with Nalta and de Oliveira. They're the remaining defendants in Mar-a-Lago, and they're the people that give Cannon the basis for trying to intervene on Trump's behalf. So we've got a separate kind of battle that at worst ought to produce the release of the January 6th report. And by the way, in any event, they ought to be able to figure out a way to lodge the Mar-a-Lago case with the court, somehow get it so that not all copies can be controlled by Trump and just destroyed lawlessly. So there you have it. Two different fields of operation. Trump just kind of flailing and giving rhetorical slogans about the January 6th report to Garland. He doesn't anticipate they'll really have any legal or practical effect, so we'll see what his next move is. This is really coming down to the wire, and involving different maneuvers, different courts, different volumes. The January 6th piece, we'll see what Trump's next move is, but I don't see him having any real legal argument. We'll see whether Judge Cannon overreaches and tries to order the DOJ not to release even Volume 1, but she would really, I think, be reversed pretty quickly by the 11th Circuit if she tries that. So a very fast-moving target, two different bases of operation, different legal kinds of claims. And the January 6th one, keep your eye on the Department of Justice and word that Smith has transmitted the report to Garland. And in Mar-a-Lago, keep your eye on the 11th Circuit in the first instance, but a lot of moving parts and a lot of different players, and not very much time for the game to be completed. So this is, in some ways, going to be unpredictable and very fast moving. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.